psych for tears.
Imagine going on, like, I don't know, like Nintendo Twitter or something and being like,
dude, this Nintendo showcase was fucking dog water.
Dude,
this was terrible. Like, grow up.
Dude, where was Zelda?
Dude, literally, where was Zelda?
Where is Tears of the Kingdom Part 2?
Where's...
Dude, or like the Mario stuff.
oh my god, dude,
God,
Mario
bro.
fans are like drowning right now.
Does Nintendo care about them? No, I guess not. No.
Dude, do specific Mario series fans exist, bro? I
Not
feel like
really,
Mario is just
no.
their fucking... Like, we haven't made a game in a year, let's just fucking produce a Mario or some version of Mario playing a sport.
No, that's real though, and like a lot of Nintendo Twitter that's big into Mario is like, dude, where's our Mario?
Why are you big
been
into
so
Mario?
long.
That is the most, like, soulless series to be, like, so into ever.
I guess. Like,
Well, no, like, like, most of the Mario games are so, like, soulless. There's no story, there's no character. It's just, like, play and princess and save.
I think Mario
Yeah.
is really solid. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I get that, but, like, that
I've heard
being,
a
like,
really good
your
example.
series...
I've heard a really good, like, comparison for all the JRPG folks out there.
Yeah.
It's Mario is like Dragon Quest, and Sonic is like, I guess in this case, any other game franchise for the most part is like Final Fantasy, where you can get really, really interesting, out there, and fun games with a Final Fantasy, and then Dragon Quest is just like consistently what you expect
Their
and
next
good.
one is gonna be like an action game, though.
That's not to say,
Really?
like...
Yeah.
That's
That's
not to
pretty
say
cool.
you don't get some very interesting stuff with Mario. Like, there, you had the, what the fuck was the one where they added it to the end of the
Well,
3D world?
I think we can. That comparison is still
Bowser's
apt
Fury?
because
Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's Fury is really good.
that was
Yeah.
sick, and they never did it again.
Well,
I feel
it's
like
been,
I feel like they probably will.
yeah, it's been like, what, 2 years or something?
Has it
since
only been
then?
2 years?
It hasn't been that long,
It
man.
feels like more than that.
It came out in,
6
like,
years since
COVID.
Odyssey.
Oh wow!
I was talking about Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, but
Oh,
since
yeah.
Odyssey, that's
Odyssey was the Mario game that
I guess
felt
that
like
makes
had
sense.
the most soul in a while, but I think...
It's because the mainline games do. The mainline 3D Mario game, like, okay, the 3D mainline Mario games are all have, like, a lot that goes into them.
Yeah.
And every other, like, pillar of Mario, at least now, other than... No, I guess, like, most other pillars of Mario are just, like, kind of, like, they're soulless.
Yeah.
I guess is, but I also hate that word because it means very little. So I think the better word I'd use is like they're just like very like shallow. I guess might be
I
better.
would say low effort, but they put effort into it. Low thought. They didn't put a lot of thought behind it, I guess.
I think
Cash
more
grabby.
so it
Cash grab.
lacks identity.
Yeah, I think cash grab is the best word I've heard.
Cash grab's a good one, but I think lacks identity is probably the better way of saying soulless, just because it
Lacks personality. It has the identity of Mario.
yeah, that's
It-
fair.
It lacks personality.
Yeah.
Um,
Or it's just very like I think
What-
or like with
what-
strikers, it's like just like we have personality in very surface level ways and also no content.
what do you think is your guys' like most like I guess personality Mario game or like most I guess I'm asking what your
non-mainline.
favorite Mario game is because I feel like that
Favorite
coincides.
Mario game.
Favorite 3D Mario game because I mean you could say like oh Mario World or whatever because I had the best platforming experience with it. But for honestly, I think my favorite Mario game of all time, and also for me the thing that's felt like it's had the most personality has been Mario Galaxy. Because that is
Hot take, dude.
yeah, I think that
Someone's really trying to get on cancel
cooking right now. I liked. There's been some recent ones with personality, and obviously like the Sunshine and the 64.
I'm getting two different questions right now from you. Is it which one has the most personality, or which one is like the most
That's
fun?
okay. We can answer
Both.
personality first, I
Personality.
guess.
Personality.
Odyssey, or not Odyssey, Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunshine easily has the
Sunshine.
most personality.
Yeah. Sunshine almost subjectively.
Fuck, dude, I'm struggling tonight.
I have played through Sunshine. It does have a lot of personality.
It's like Okay, but I guess that's kind of what I hate about these, like, vague-ass words, is that they can mean different things to different people. When you say personality, I mean, like, okay, so, like, what defines
For Mario
this game
specifically,
and what puts it apart from other games?
for Mario specifically, they put more in it than just Princess got captured, go cross multiple levels to go get Princess,
This is
you
so
know?
embarrassing.
I
We're
feel,
trying again.
because, like, I would define it as, like, okay, this is the core idea, or, like, this is the game's thesis statement, and this is how it, like, sets itself apart from the other games.
Yeah,
In
what-
which case, Sunshine is the one that takes place on a tropical island, and you have a water jetpack, and the whole game is based on, like, visiting these different resorts.
If you want to, like, I could agree with the statement that, like, Mario Sunshine has the most personality, but if we're talking about what my favorite... Oh, no, that never mind. We're getting into the second question. What game do I think has the most personality?
Dude,
I guess Sunshine. I think... Honestly, I think Galaxy 2 has a lot of personality that might kind of goes overlooked only because it's a sequel to the first one.
I don't know about that.
I don't...
The fact that you have your own fucking starship as Mario
yeah, but
and
that's
your
not like it's.
I
don't know.
mean, the
Space and all
Galaxy
that?
doesn't have, like...
I mean,
it's always like, because, like, I remember seeing people like, oh, like, they're gonna do Mario Galaxy for the next movie. What is the Galaxy identity? Because I feel like it's a lot of different
it's
things.
like Rosalina and Luma.
She's not in the second one.
Huh?
She's not in the second
She
one.
actually, yeah, she isn't.
I know, but it's still she like before Mario, like before Galaxy, that whole like space aspect to Mario was like never even there. You know, it was just Mario platform across levels and all that stuff, right? And then you get to Galaxy, and you're in space first of all, which is cool. And then you have Rosalina as
so
this
the
new
identity
character.
is space.
But how much
Yeah.
did that change things?
It changed things pretty significantly.
changed-
It
Things
changed
pretty-
things for, like, scale-wise, but, like... I feel like-
Scale-wise, gameplay-wise as well. For sure.
Rosalina
Yeah, that's
became a
fair.
fucking staple character of the series, despite the fact she was only in Galaxy of
That's fair.
significance.
I don't feel like it's, like... I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, I don't...
It might be my bias speaking, because I really love those games.
I just don't enjoy vague terms for... Because, like, I don't know. I hate, like, the soulless or, like, soul or, like...
Yeah, I get that.
A lot of that stuff, because it's so, like, easy to say
Okay,
something
well-
has soul or soulless.
What
Bye.
it's more personal than of like what Mario game has felt the most, I guess, special to you. Like most, I swear it's on the tip of my tongue. Like
I
the
believe in you.
best experience for you.
Best experience?
Yeah,
Mm.
that's where I'll confidently say Galaxy. Galaxy 2 is probably my best Mario experience of all time.
Okay,
I loved that shit.
that's fair. It is just a tighter Galaxy 1, pretty much.
Yeah, and even just the small things of like you play through the game more, you do some like side stars you don't have to necessarily do, and you
Yeah.
start getting like people to come to your ship, or you'll get like power-ups appearing on your ship. Even it's literally just a visual reward of like, congratulations, you went and chased down a random monkey. You didn't have
When you say
to.
experience,
Now
you
you get
just,
them.
like, what, like, your time playing it? Like...
Sure, I'm
'Cause, like-
I'm not trying to like super define these boundaries for you. I was just saying like,
No, because when you said experience, what for me, it's like, okay, so I guess, like, I played Mario Galaxy when I was very young, so I guess that, but like,
what's the most like unique and like interesting Mario experience like one of the games has been able to offer you?
unique and
That's where I'll say Galaxy, but like even like you can argue Sunshine on that. You can argue
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, Sunshine is like the de facto. Like, if you're looking for unique, there's a reason. Pretty much everybody talks about it like either as the black sheep or like the second coming of Christ that like changed the series. And
But-
like they never went back to it again.
like there's a good amount of Mario games that have that for different people. Like that's 64 for a lot of people as well.
yeah.
You know,
I
and
guess
that's
so. What do I do with
even
this thing
even
again?
like if you're born
The
in like
missile.
2006 or
I got a
something
what?
because you're
The missile.
disgusting.
Oh yeah. Ugh. Ooh.
Like if first of all, I will say if you're born like after like the Nintendo DS came out,
Mhm.
you're less likable of a person
Stop watching.
off that.
Actually, stop watching. I don't think you're old
There's
enough.
like significantly less about you that's appealing with that, but also like for those types of people, like that's like their Mario Odyssey or something.
Yeah.
You know?
For a second, let's take a break from the Mario talk just to talk about this, because I do think there's a lot to talk about. This is easily the worst part of the game.
Turn it off.
Can you actually?
Go in the menu right now.
You're fucking kidding me.
Options.
No way.
Yeah, game settings. Might be at the bottom.
Did they just add this?
Yes.
Oh my god, they're fixing the game retroactively.
Impossible.
Starfall slot machine. Get rid of this shit now. Yeah, okay, cool.
You also turn off the power boost scene, which is cool.
What? Wait. Hey. Okay, let's
Where's
do
my
that too.
water?
Power boost scene. You didn't get water, dumbass.
No, I brought my own water bottle
Did
because
you
I think
actually?
ahead. Yeah,
Oh,
motherfucker,
no.
I prepare.
Okay, my fault. I was too busy making fun of you.
I think it'll
Common
finish
problem.
this.
Yeah, and then it'll go away.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they... I guess it just has to finish all the ones it has.
Sure. Well, anyways, like I'm glad they added things to get rid of it. So I guess this game is just probably never going to be finished until they're done with everything under the sun.
I mean, it's finished, but I am curious on when the next update's going to come.
Well, because okay, I don't know if I want to even say that it's finished though, because what do I hit it on this? Just a chain?
It's
it
crazy
right
to
up
me
there?
I
that
think
like
that,
This thing?
yeah,
Little target thing?
I think so.
Alright, let's try it. Nice. So I remember going through this the first time, I was like, where do I hit this thing?
Yeah, no, the same.
Like, maybe we're both brain dead, but I don't think so. Like, it's not a clear target,
Yeah.
but... Yeah, no, easily the worst part of this game when it came out was the Starfall mechanic, because it felt like a very... It felt very, like, Blood Moon-esque from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Except way more intrusive, because, you know, it appears every once in a while, and then you have this slot machine on your screen that doesn't, like, do all that much, and it just wasn't
It's weird.
a great experience.
Yeah.
I think it probably kitted me up pretty good for the end of the game, and now I'm just not gonna have that. But
I mean, I don't feel like it'll do that. And, like, in general, it felt like they were just throwing ideas at the wall.
yeah,
Which is what a lot of this game feels like. They're like, let's see what
In a
like
good way.
people. Yeah, no,
I wonder-
like positively. Like,
up?
let's see how people respond.
I wonder what like Knuckles and Amy are like experiencing being like half in cyberspace and half
They
in
talk
reality.
about that. They
Yeah.
do.
What does it feel like or like look like to them?
There's a cutscene where they specifically talk about that. Maybe we'll come across. If I had to guess, it was probably like
Like, do they feel like their atoms are being like torn apart across dimensions or something? I can't imagine it feels good.
no.
no.
Like,
I think they actively talk about it being bad.
Yeah,
Like,
I
this
can
is not
imagine.
fun.
yeah, I would love to know what it's
Well,
like to be stuck in cyberspace
gonna-
but halfway in
We're
reality.
gonna know soon.
Yeah,
Probably. Who talks about that? Is it Tails?
all of them.
Imagine,
Really?
imagine
Yeah.
like your first encounter with like Amy, and she's like, "Oh, like, holy shit, I'm dying! I
Yeah.
feel my atoms. Oh."
It's a weird concept, and they don't really do a whole lot with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it is Sonic. Might be kind of
They-
a heavy concept
they
to
talk
go
a
into.
lot about-
Oh, Sonic is no stranger to heavy ass concepts for
Really?
Yeah.
That is true. But what I'm talking about is they don't really talk about like the implications of cyberspace. That's not the right word, because that sounds
is cyberspace, bro.
that's also talked about. We do learn what cyberspace is.
It'll
But
come up.
It will come
When
up.
we're
I don't
talking
know
about-
if we're gonna fucking pay attention to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say when
Yeah,
we're talking
but
about some other video game when it arises.
I'm sure. They do talk about what cyberspace is. They never really take it as fully as they probably should have. Because I know, Ellie, we're probably going to talk about this later in the game,
Yeah.
but especially when we get to, like, the latter half, it kind of falls apart in
Yeah.
its conclusion. So, like, I think it's
very clearly like rushed.
yeah, so really solid setup, and then really, really bad conclusion to what cyberspace is as a
Dude.
concept.
It's. I feel like more games come out nowadays that are rushed than not. Like that. I feel like
Okay, I will say that is a weird thing to say in 2023 when we were getting the mother load, but I can agree. I can understand that sentiment.
hopefully 2023 will fix that. But like I feel like a lot of games nowadays,
But
you
we've been
hear
having
that.
crazy releases.
Yeah, you hear that though. I mean, but like sometimes crazy releases like will come up and you're like, they sort of spent more time on this, like a Halo Infinite, man, you know, where it's like, really?
Even no, but like this year has been good, like genuinely good. We've had several games above like 90 on Metacritic.
Yeah.
This game, like, and then we have Final Fantasy 16 coming out next week.
Is it actually next week?
It's next week.
Dude, that's
tough.
I don't got money.
Next recording session, we're gonna be like, well, Final Fantasy 16 seemed kind of rushed,
Actually,
though.
God, please no. They have something too good here.
I guess that is something to kind of validate Josh's point. We've especially recently been seeing a lot of potentially really good releases, but we also don't really know how they're going to turn out and whether or not they're going to feel rushed or not.
That's true, but I think
And
that's
a lot of them
also like, has that ever not been a thing?
I
That,
think so.
When?
The
I
idea of
might have
rushed
been too-
releases.
Or games that like feel like, oh yeah, these developers had a proper amount of time to do this, and it felt like
I think it's just
complete and
more
like they,
obvious now because usually companies tend to like
And also,
rush
like,
similar
older.
aspects.
we're also older. Like I might have been naive to it because I was a child, you know.
That's
and I wasn't
fair.
able
I
to
think
notice.
it's just like different companies end up like rushing different things at different times, and like
yeah.
I don't feel like it's like I don't
probably
think it's
right.
like this completely new phenomenon.
No, it's
it's just
probably not
more that
new.
like we're more aware of it, given like people are more vocal about it. I know like the internet and like a lot of just different things that go into game development. And like I think we've always had like. I think those kinds of releases have always existed, and if not for that,
Yeah.
then you just have like bad releases or like releases with like, oh, this is like a really stupid idea.
Yeah. Oh, there's been plenty of those throughout
Yeah.
time. I mean, what is it? Fucking Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts exists. I don't understand how games like that go through so many fucking different people that have looked at that and they're like,
But
this is okay.
I've heard good things about that game too.
You have?
Yeah, I've only heard bad things from like one YouTuber like 10 years ago.
Oh, but I think again, that's where I was talking about like just dumb idea.
Oh,
At least to me,
yeah.
like the idea feels dumb there. I don't.
It's a weird direction to take Banjo-Kazooie, but also like it's not that dumb because we just got a game that's very similar to it.
Still,
I feel like you
there
could say
are-
the same thing with Zelda. That it'd be really
Uh-oh.
dumb if you could make vehicles.
Uh-oh. We need to stray away.
We've been
Topic that shall not be named.
I'm not even like I think just in general.
Voldemort.
we've been having. Is that your safe word? Voldemort's your
Yeah,
safe word.
that's a safe word. As soon as the conversation gets a little too Tears of the Kingdom,
It's
No,
because
it's
we have
not-
so much to say about it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a little.
it's
difficult
valuable
to-
conversation. I'm not.
It is, yeah.
I'm not disagreeing.
It's not even like like talking about the game, but like the idea was essentially done in another
Yeah.
context, and it's been received extremely well. So I think it's more like
Yeah, I don't know. That's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier to take a critical eye after the fact of something and be like, "Wow, that was so dumb. Why would you even like?"
I also
think
think
about doing that.
Nuts and Bolts was kind of fucked from the start because you had it making fun of people who enjoyed the previous games, and it had been so long
yeah.
since you had gotten an experience from
That
it.
is just a dumb idea across the board.
I
for like
agree.
any media.
Why as a
Yeah.
media like form as like a movie or a video game are you like, yeah, now it's time for me to just insult my fans? Like
Exactly.
actually go fuck yourself. I hate you.
Yeah.
You should end your own life.
We also
It's like, okay,
not even,
wait,
like,
why?
not even like a cute way, like
Yeah.
actually just like okay,
Yeah, I guess that's the difference because I was gonna say low key we also did just get that because we got Into the Spider-Verse, right? Which
Yeah.
was actively like very against a certain part of comic community, right?
Yeah, but those guys are racist. So
Are they
Got 'em.
actually?
They had it coming, bro.
okay, when you say comic enthusiasts, what do you mean?
I mean, like the big canon heavy people. They're like, it needs to be canon. That was the whole film.
yeah.
I
Fuck
thought
those
you meant
guys.
like Miles isn't Spider-Man.
No, that is just racist. Yeah,
Yeah,
Fucking Miguel.
dude, Miguel's fucked for that. You're an anomaly.
yeah.
Have we talked about the Miles sympathizers or Jaegerists yet?
No, you can go into your shit. I think you're
okay.
goofy, but
How are they Jaegerists?
If you because there's kind of two teams. The movie wants you to think that the only side you can take is Miles. Like, he's the main character. Like, you gotta side with him. But Miguel's spitting facts, though. Like, and here's the thing. If you are a Miles Morales sympathizer after watching Across the Spider-Verse, you have the same ideology as a Jaegerist, to a certain extent.
Let's go ahead and put spoiler warning just for Attack on Titan, just in case any poor soul out there.
For Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Also for Across the Spider-Verse, if you haven't seen that.
Across the Spider-Verse.
I mean, yeah,
It's gonna be hard to have not seen it at this point, but yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted to see it, I feel like a lot of people...
If you wanted to see it, it's
You
your
had
own
the
fault.
experience.
Cry about it. But
Or the
like,
chance already, rather.
I don't know.
no, spoiler warning is fair. That's a good point. Thank you for catching me on that. But the whole
Nice.
now that the spoiler warning is gone, the whole thing with like Miles' side and like Miguel's side is Miguel is like, bro, like I've been through a personal experience, like trying to like change things or like not have your canon event or like live out a different timeline other than being Spider-Man led to a whole universe collapsing in on itself, right? Like that shit is fucked. Like, don't do that, Miles.
And we
but
see
then
that
Miles is
firsthand.
like, do you know that's gonna happen for sure? And like, I want to live my own life, and Spider-Man should be able to save people and
Yeah.
like
Find a
save
third
my
option.
dad, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel like, you know, those are both points that you can sort of understand and reason with.
Yes.
But when you're weighing the life here of Miles Morales' father versus the personal experience that Miguel had, like at least one instance of proof that something similar to what Miles is trying to do has killed like an unconceivable amount of people, like billions, when a universe collapses. I think he might have a point if he's like, hey man, we shouldn't take this risk with your fucking dad.
I don't
like,
think
sorry about that, but
I
like,
don't think it's supposed to be black and white. It's
I
definitely,
agree.
like, nuanced.
I agree, but
I also think a lot of the way that the narrative is structured gives it that nuance because it's like, I know you keep saying this is like a scenario that could happen, but I think realistically there are enough like convolutions to it and like differences between Miles' story.
yeah,
and
there's reason
Miguel's
to believe
story,
that it
like-
wouldn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. So
There's
I-
reason to like doubt what Miguel is saying, but at least for me, and I feel like people who would argue on Miguel's side of like, maybe it's not worth the risk, even if we could like theorize that maybe it wouldn't happen. Maybe it's not worth everything ever collapsing, right? Which is that's just a viewpoint or whatever.
Yeah.
But here's the Jaeger's point. Here's the juicy shit.
Okay.
When you break it down to its core,
Yeah.
Miles is willing to save and improve the lives of few, or even just one, maybe. But I think it's more than just him, right? That he's trying to improve the lives of, at the risk of a crazy amount more of lives, which is what Aaron Yeager has been fighting for this whole time.
Now let me let me go ahead and talk about that Attack on Titan point. The author wrote himself into a corner. No, what he did. That's like inherently what happened. Okay, he set up the world. In the world, there's Eldians and there's everybody else, and Eldians are hated. The Eldians have not subtle at all, like imagery to show that they're treated just as the Jews were treated in World War II in Marley, where it is explicitly stated that is where they receive the best treatment. They are hated for their ability to turn into a Titan, and they're unfairly prosecuted because of that. The entire world wants them dead. The entire world wants their entire island dead. What is a permanent solution to this problem? I don't feel like you can say, like, because what are the sides? There's Jaegers and there's Jaegers and there's like not, and like, or whatever.
There's Jaegerists and there's a few different ideas of solution.
What's the solutions?
Like euthanize the Eldians versus
Dude,
like
that's genocide.
in a without directly killing people way. Yes,
Dude, that's genocide.
That's genocide.
That's terrible.
I'm not gonna say you're-
just as bad as letting them be
I
destroyed.
mean, you don't kill anyone that's alive.
Oh my god, bro! Stop.
You just they just can't ever produce any more offspring. You know.
Josh, I think you've lost this fight.
No, this wasn't. I'm not trying to fight on either side. I'm just arguing that the ideology.
That is a solution. but it's not a good. But like,
I was just that
But
was
it
literally
sucks.
wasn't it literally Zeke's solution? That's what I was describing, right?
yes, that was his. Like,
I'm not
the
trying to
euthanasia
defend
plan.
Zeke here. My point earlier was that it's similar to have to be a Miles sympathizer is having a similar ideology to Eren Yeager and the Jaegerists.
Also, Eren. Okay, to be fair, I think he took. I don't feel like they're the same situations.
No,
though.
they're definitely not the same, but it's similar in concept of like you're prioritizing the lives of a few. I think if I find it funny that like majority of people are not Jaegerists, right? Like against Eren Yeager,
because
right?
genocide is wrong.
Yeah, but then also the majority of people are also Miles, Team Miles, and there's not really not a Team Miles.
Because Miles isn't advocating or committing genocide.
He could though, like,
But he isn't
he
actively.
could commit. Whether he's trying
not
to,
trying to. He's
That's a
very
fair point.
explicitly that like I'm trying to find like a third option, another solution.
but
to
his
this
risk,
problem.
the risk of him failing at that is genocide, accidental. but
That is a risk, but that's not what he's
so
doing.
that's my point here. Is like you're
But
treading a dangerous
they're
line.
very, very different characters achieving
Yeah,
very
I agree.
different goals.
I agree. That's the only point though. For me is I find that amusing. That
Eren
it's like,
also had like that's the one thing. Like there's no other like solution other than like the like 50 years plan, which is not a permanent solution. And it's also already shown that like they're getting like stuff that's like they're developing weapons that's strong enough to kill Titans. So like that is far from a permanent solution.
well,
And this isn't touching the ending.
oh god, I don't even know the ending. I mean, ideally you could just be like world peace, but like clearly that doesn't fucking happen.
That was what like they were doing. They were like, we should like have world peace, and nobody listened because like the world building was essentially like this is so these are Jews. Imagine every other country treats them worse than Jews are treated. Like that's your world building.
Yeah, I feel like the main cast of characters that aren't Eren Yeager are we should just have world peace people. Like at every point when they're yelling at Eren to stop, they're just like, we could just like chill. Like we could just not do this.
It's weird because it feel like it's like I don't support like you shouldn't support genocide, but like what? I guess they I guess it's a 50 years.
However,
But
it's more like like what other like there's no other
I do
proposed
get that.
solution by the show.
I guess that's where it makes it a nuanced topic versus like there's just one answer. You know, that's where I say there.
But there is only one answer.
And I think that's why it feels. I think that's why like nobody's questioned in Across the Spider-Verse like being Team Miles. Like everyone is that, no problem. But like it's because the story was like written out that way. You know, like they wanted you to be Team Miles the entire time and not really question the fact that he's risking killing all of the universe. And then Attack on Titan did want to make it more nuanced, despite the fact that there kind of seemed like it was leading to only one possible answer, like you're saying, Ellie.
Yeah.
They did want it to be more of a nuanced, like make you think about it thing. And Across the Spider-Verse was more feel good than that. But when you break it down to its core, it's the same thing. It's the same. It's the same thing, kind of. Not actually, but kind of.
I get what you mean. It's a lot. I mean, I guess it's a big thing on like framing and how. I guess how important like that can be in like a story is like how you frame your characters and
no one is questioning Miles Morales, and I think they should more. I think they should question his decisions a little more.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I don't think that the movie is explicitly like you should be I think it's more like what they're doing to him is screwed up.
Yeah, it never
has
does
a point.
that. Yeah. It never explicitly is like be Team Miles, but it never also like hesitates for a second. Like, but like actually, like Miguel always looks like a bad guy.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Andrew?
dude, I didn't watch fucking Attack on Titan. What do you?
What?
The Spider-Man shit. I mean, you already know how I stand on that.
What?
Everything else, I don't know.
How do you stand on the Spider-Man?
We talked about it. I am Team Miles because I think there's too much room for doubt with what Miguel is saying. I think realistically,
I understand
he's
that.
experienced a very he's experienced a scenario that hasn't been explained particularly well, and there could be a multitude of different issues that have caused this, and now he's dragged multiple universes into what he perceives the issue to be, when there's no actual evidence if that was the real issue. Why does Miguel know that he was the problem?
I think he's taking it to like an extreme.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
He's forcing all these Spider-Mans to go through trauma, essentially, because he thinks that's what's going to save the universe when he doesn't actually know. Which I think that's probably going to be what the actual, story of it will be. That's Miguel's character, as he is forcing his trauma on everyone else because he's convinced himself that's how he saves the universe.
Yeah.
But, I get it, man. I get his points.
Yeah.
I get
sympathizer.
I am kind of a Miguel sympathizer, bro. Maybe you shouldn't question things and be like, well, if this works... Oh, I'm getting down a dangerous line, I thought. Never mind. I'm going to backtrack off that.
Smart.
I'm going to completely backtrack off of where I was going.
Yeah.
Alright, I feel like we've explored that line of reasoning pretty well. The Miguel Jaegerist line of theory. I don't know where else to go with that conversation.
We could have naturally trailed off that. You didn't have to cut us off, Andrew. I think we naturally trailed off. I didn't realize I was with the conversation dictator here.
Yeah, dude.
Who was silent for the past 20 minutes, and now it suddenly gets to decide what we're talking about.
How do you release 8 extra pages and make it worse?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I ain't read shit.